Hi Cancer, welcome to the second part of July's spell check where I am doing the astrology. So we are on the water signs now, so this is for Cancer. And Cancer, I'm going to be picking 3 cards for you for July and just sort of talking you through some energies. I'm going to do a tarot, an animal spirit and an island wellness card. So I'm just cutting these decks, so that's literally me just, hold on. I've pre-shuffled them all and I'm just cutting them, or wherever I cut, that's the card we're pulling. So we have this Queen of Swords in reverse. So air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. So this is about what we say, what we think, and just our general communication. So Cancer, you have this Queen in her upright position. She's very forthright, she's very fair, she's very honest and loyal. In reverse, she feels kind of the opposite to those things. So if there's somebody you're not being honest with, this month is asking you to rethink that. Rethink your drive behind why are you not being so truthful? Why are you not potentially telling someone around you the truth? Perhaps it's because you want to not hurt their feelings. Perhaps you have decided it's best that you keep certain things to yourself rather than highlighting them to others. Or maybe there's some reason where you just feel like this person doesn't deserve your honesty, doesn't deserve your fairness. Or maybe you've just been burnt in the past and for this month you're just thinking, well, actually, I really want to keep my cards close to my chest. I want to really think through whatever this is going on in my life or that I'm trying to plan, or maybe there's changes you want to make, and maybe you've decided that this month you are going to just keep that close to your chest, you know, while you work things out. It's actually quite a wise thing to do, you know, rather than kind of rushing on in and blurting out something that might be misconstrued or taken the wrong way. You're just saying, well, let me think it through. Let me conceal my voice, my thoughts and my energy. And, you know, once I feel more in my power, I can turn this around and then take it from here. And this Queen would take it from here, by the way. So maybe you can identify that stuff I'm talking about is kind of out of character for you as well. Because Cancer, you know, you're a very loving person, and probably one of the least likely groups of astrology that would want to not communicate things to the people you love, not be clear cut about, you know, those people that mean a lot to you. You'd normally be very vocal in expressing how you feel and, you know, what needs to be done. But there's some energy around you for July that's kind of buttoning it. For want of a better word, you've decided to button it, keep quiet, just short term, just maybe while you regroup, and then in everyone's best interest, you're going to be more prepared. Okay, there's too many cards for me to take that. A load of cards just jumped out, which makes me feel like you're dying to say something to somebody or tell somebody something, but it doesn't feel right at this stage. Yes, and then you've got this kind of axe to grind, maybe. Maybe this is this again, not being quite so forceful, or, you know, not dealing with somebody right now because you don't think it's right. You know, you're going to bide your time. It says breakup, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment, abandonment. Silent treatment. You are not saying what you need to say this month. And you know what? Because this is a collective reading, I'm not telling you you should either. Because maybe actually the best thing you can do right now is to just zip it and wait for the right timing. But it feels like something needs to be cut away chopped down to size. Something needs to be stopped or dealt with, I would say. And for most of you, you're going to know what that is. You can hear this reading and go, yep, I know exactly what that is. And it's coming, it's brewing, it's en route. If you're watching this and thinking, you know what, none of this resonates for me, then it just means that perhaps July is going to be a month where you get your head down and you do you. And you cut interaction out, you know, and influences from others, and you just do you. Do what's important to you. Okay, we have this card of the oyster. Beautiful card. You know what? I've never pulled this oyster card before, so I've actually not ever read this one. But it's really beautiful. I mean, oysters are kind of an aphrodisiac as well, right? So maybe it feels like the general tone is that you weren't feeling so romantic, but it could be a moment and romance of the heart that is involved, and that's why perhaps you're choosing to keep quiet right now. So this is a water card and you're a water energy, so this feels like this is you. And let's see what this oyster card message wants to tell you, my lovely Cancerians. Okay, so it says patience. What did I say? You're waiting. You're waiting for something. You know what you need to do and you're just waiting. It says patient, secret keeper, secrets, hiding inner treasures or inner information. The focus and determination of the oyster is unmatched. Anything an oyster personality puts their mind to, they achieve with grace and charm. The only problem is, oyster types often take their inner gifts for granted. They become shy or doubtful, and this can lead to the withdrawing or protecting their deepest desires and life's work. When the oyster card appears, it's important to reveal your inner treasures, what it is you've been hesitant to share. The world is waiting to see. So if this is not you wanting to say something to a person, then this is you having this need to reveal something about yourself or who you are or your talents, and not hide them under your bushel. Your bush. Okay, so when out of balance, this oyster card is like reluctant. So it's like you clam up, pardon the pun. So it's like you shy away from things. And I'm really getting that energy for you, Cancer, for July. They want you to bring something into balance, and this is about sharing. So it may feel uncomfortable, but it's about revealing or sharing parts of yourself with someone or something that you wouldn't normally do. And when you're in balance, the oyster feels blessed and generous and masterful. And, you know, if we were to sort of look at this card and talk about confidence then, if you will, this would be saying maybe you've kept quiet because you just haven't had the confidence to, you know, really go out there and be you. Say what's right for you. Do what's right for you. Tell the world who you are. Or maybe tell, you know, certain important people that you interact with who you are, what your talents are, what your gifts are, what you're good at. Feels like you've been hiding that away under the depths of your watery energy, Cancer. And it's time to cut that behaviour out and start revealing your inner gems, because they're so in there. Have a wonderful July, my lovely Cancers. Hi Pisces, welcome to the extended part of the spell check for your astrology. So Pisceans, what does July hold for you? I'm going to be picking you 3 cards for this little section that's added onto the spell check. So it's going to be a tarot card, an island wellness card, and from the animal spirit deck. which is one of my favourite decks. There's been a lot of really telling energy that's come out for the other signs so far. And so let's have something really positive for my Pisceans. So I am going to cut the deck. Wherever it comes out at is what we're going to have. Whoop, whoop. The Wheel of Fortune. What did I just say? So yes, this Wheel of Fortune is like Jupiter energy, planetary speaking. And Jupiter energy is about good fortune. It's about the tables turning and something really good happening for you, or something closing off to make way for something new, for the beginning of maybe these changes. And maybe there has been some changes that you desperately needed to bring about in your life, Pisces, and this is saying yep, we're going to do that. We're going to start in July. We're in these summer months. We're going to make something happen. So perhaps there has been maybe a stuck feeling, you know, maybe you've been working towards something and trying to improve, striving to get better at, and it's all felt a little bit like, oh, you know, is anything actually happening in my life? Are these changes happening? And, you know, are good things ever going to come for me? In an answer, Pisces, yes, they are. I feel like this is going to be a great month for you. I feel like I talked about tables turning, didn't I? Things maybe renewing, starting again. You know, for some, something that you're really scared about letting go of is gonna, oh wow, is gonna be coming to an end. And, you know, it's gonna take a bit of courage to let go also, on the other hand. So we have this card, the clock and the wheel, you know, it's all talking about cycles in your life, in your current life. And how, you know, we measure cycles in different ways, don't we? Like our astrology, we're measuring cycles by each month, you know, by what planets that we were aligned with, you know, the day we were born. And this can be our time, investing our time into something feeling like it's taking a long time coming. But it feels like, Pisces, that, you know, this is an alarm clock on this card. So maybe this alarm's about to go off for some of you. So something very prominent is going to bookmark June for you. Something's going to happen. Perhaps for some of you felt like you've not had enough time. We can all get like that, can't we, where we just think there's not enough hours in the day, there's not enough, you know, time for all the commitments we want to do or that we have to do. And we can feel, for some, that it's just work. And some of you felt like maybe you haven't had a really good balance between your working life and your social life, your me time. And it's saying in July, take more me time. Go out, have fun, enjoy. Don't be all work and no play. And yeah, and you might be surprised the changes that could be on their way for you. Right, let's pull you an animal spirit card. Bearing in mind, we're really kind of looking at something to do with change here. Feels like something significant too. Okay, look at this beautiful card. You have the Firefly. Illumination, Pisces, illumination. This is another cycle, you know, light and in daytime hours and nighttime the darkness. Now, the darkness comes the light. Feels like you need to go out and play. That's kind of message they're wanting me to tell you. It's time for you to go out and play and be seen. So ultimately, this is an air sign. So its energy of air is Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. And yeah, it's talking about being inspired, being fantastic. But try not to make those moments of fantasticness, is that a word? I may have just made that up. Those moments of fantasticness last longer. You know, at the moment it feels like things have been fleeting, out of your grasp. And this card wants to shed light on that, if you will. The firefly contains the light of 1,000 stars. It's pure, radiant, and illuminating. This high frequency charge cannot be sustained for long. Therefore, the firefly card indicates a moment of inspiration or awakening that quickly fades if we do not catch it. There is a firefly energy behind every poem, song, and invention. Our job is to be ready to harness this creative spirit when it graces our path. What can you do to support this precious and elusive light? What do you need to do to harness this great idea, or this great moment, or this event, or something that fuels this change? You know, we said we were talking about change. For some of you that are feeling out of balance at the moment, you might be feeling burnt out. Yeah, and sort of like feeling dull, you know, not feeling like you have any light to give anybody. And next to this Wheel of Fortune, it's like that can change. That can quickly change in the month of July for you, Pisces. What you need to do is do something that you enjoy, that gives you joy, that you love, that makes you feel good, that creates those sparks of imagination. Whatever that is for you, the more you can do that, the better you're going to harness this firefly energy for July. So when you're in balance, you know, you're in this energy, you can brainstorm, you can create, you can write, you can sing, you can dance, you know, those type of energetic feelings. And yeah, I just think Pisces for July, you're going to be feeling super energetic. Ride that wave while it's high, because it does have a tendency to crash, but we need to like make those moments of lightness count. Have a great July, Pisces. Welcome, Scorpio babies. Welcome to the spell check extended for the astrology part of these readings. So I hope my lovely Scorpios are having a fabulous summer and shedding some more of our transformational skins, which we love to do as Scorpios. So today's reading, I'm going to pull 3 cards. I'm going to pull one of my tarot, one of the Island Time Wellness cards, and an animal spirit to give us some idea of where our energy's at for the month of July. Okay, so these sort of quick add-on astrology readings that I'm doing with the spell check, I'm sort of starting out by just cutting the deck. I'm not going in. I've done a huge pre-shuffle, and I'm just cutting the deck, and wherever they fall, we're putting this card. Oh, wow. Okay. So we have the Devil card. Now, I'm pretty sure Leo had this card. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Leo had the same card. So maybe in your chart somewhere you have some Leo. You know, always do check your sun, moon and rising. There's some great websites, free websites, where you can go on there and put that information in. Of course, you do need to know your birth time. So, yeah, but if you do and you have that information, go on and check. And then when you listen to these readings, always do have a look at those other elements within your sign. So, Leo shared your devil energy. And, you know, for Leos, it was them kind of shedding old patterns, I guess, and really embracing new ideas and new endeavours in order to move forward and have that growth, which is what we're all here to do. So for my Scorpios, what does this Devil card. This is a major arcana card. So this is the card of Capricorn. And I have Capricorn actually in my moon, in my chart rather. So I can totally relate to this. The Capricorn side, when we take the energy of, it's like we can be very indecisive about things that we're doing. And at times we second guess ourselves, like constantly. Because within that energy, we want to be grounded in earth energy. We want to do things right. We want to feel like we're on the right path. And Scorpios, I feel like, you know, we probably spend every day of our lives figuring out, are we on the right path? Because we're very deep, mystical little beings that like to ask these sort of existential questions to ourselves on a daily basis, maybe hourly for some of us. But for July, this Devil really wants you to understand yourself better, Scorpio. Understand that sometimes those shadow sides of who we are make us who we are. You know, we live in this society where we're constantly, you know, feel shame about this or humiliated about that, or we shouldn't act like this, or we shouldn't act, you know, self-deprivating perspective of being judged constantly. And nobody will judge us better than we would judge ourselves, Scorpio, as I'm sure you know that very, very well. In July, it's like this energy is changing and you're just unburdening yourself from this heaviness, this constant check of, you know, imperfection. Am I enough? Am I giving enough? Am I doing enough? And it's like in July, the universe is saying to you, just let go of everything. Just let go of all of that. It takes up way more of our energy to be in our head thinking about these sorts of topics and issues than it ever needs to be, than the reality actually is. So the reality is, if you don't care as much about these things, you know, will things go that wrong? Will things be that bad? Will you lose a sense of control that much? And that's where it lies for you, Scorpio. It's this sense of wanting to control yourself, wanting to be perfect, wanting to deliver, wanting to do well at everything. So when we kind of royally fuck up or get things wrong or feel completely out of kilter, this feels so much harder. You know, it's so difficult for us. Our Pluto energy, this primeval energy, kind of this rawness takes over, and you know, that can be either a really positive thing or a really negative thing. For some of you in July, it's asking you to stop being so negative about yourself, stop being so harsh. You know, in the scheme of things, some of what might have played out, is it the end of the world? No. Are there lessons that maybe you could take from it on a positive note? Yeah, maybe. But on a positive note, not on a negative note. Accept yourself, accept situations, and don't dwell on it. Don't dwell on it too much. You need to move on. Okay. What would the wellness cards like us to know, Scorpio? Because as usual, you know, our messages are heavy. They're big. They're usually us, you know, giving ourselves a hard time about something. Oh, and one flew out. Actually, two flew out. And I'm going to let you have two because I'm feeling generous today. So, the card shot out, engagement. Engagement, partnership, commitment, eternity, completion, union. And then you had this with heart with a key. So welcoming in love, meeting the one. Open your heart and getting together. Perfect. It's really interesting that the cards use that word perfect, because I was just talking about how you're very good at highlighting that you're not perfect to yourself. Well, maybe somebody out there disagrees. Maybe somebody out there thinks, actually, you're just perfect for me. So if this isn't a long-term relationship, if it is, it means your partner sees you for who you really are, all of your beautiful qualities and all of your essence, you know, and some stuff that sometimes isn't that great, but they love and accept you anyway. Or if this is, you've been single and, you know, this toxicity has been you not believing in love, not believing in commitment, having been all too aware of previous toxic relationships, you know, that have been in this devil energy, have been unemotionally available, have kind of bound you to something that's a little bit more toxic than healthy. It's here to say that you are working through those behaviors. You know, maybe looking at your shadow side on a really positive note of self-analysis, which, you know, you're also very good at. Maybe you've been doing some very honest inner work, looking at yourself, understanding where you've been hurt, giving yourself love, compassion, kindness, and healing, instead of, you know, pointing out what's shit and what's not been good. But one thing I will say is, well done, my Scorpios, because the message I really feel, as I was just telling you that last piece of these two cards, is that for some of you, you've just completely and utterly surrendered to the process. You've overthought. I mean, you're right up there with all my air signs in overthinking, you know, as a water sign. And you've done all that, you know, you've certainly done the overthinking, and you've just recently decided that actually that is not helpful. It hasn't helped you. And what difference does it make anyway? What difference does it make if I tire myself, you know, with these stupid thoughts, or whether I just get the fuck on with it all, accept it, take what comes, accept what's happening, do the work. Know you deserve love, know you deserve commitment, and to be seen as the beautiful, honest person you are, and just embrace it. Embrace it, Scorpio. Because you have such emotional depth. Such unbelievable emotional depth. It means, unfortunately, that sometimes we feel things a little bit more sensitively than some of our other signs. Okay, so I'm going to pull you an animal spirit card. Animal spirits. I didn't get that out because this one just launched itself at me. Okay. So we have a camel card. Okay, we have this camel card, and there's a moon in this card. And in the collective, I spoke about being influenced by the moon a fair bit, and how we were going to be influenced this month by this supermoon. So the camel card, there you go. I'm going to read from the book. You know, camels are, they're very capable of surviving in really intense scenarios and situations and experiences. And so you, my little scorpions. Okay, so resourceful, independent, knowing oneself. Self-esteem again, I mentioned it, always comes up. Okay, the camel can handle absolutely anything as it carries a wealth of nourishment within. This wondrous creature is self-reliant and handles challenges with ease. Even in the face of excess heat, which we can see as like anger or, you know, intense situations can be an example of that. The camel searches inside for the cool elixir of water to calm the situation. The camel represents the ultimate force of bringing opposites into balance, fire and water, and being responsible for one's own reactions. The camel is a wonderful traveller and is especially fond of trips to far away lands. So my little Scorpios, if you are in your camel energy and you've been out of balance, it's this ultimate feeling of dehydration or lack. There's this need for you to feel vitality again. So maybe that's undertaking this new pilgrimage. Maybe this is this new love, or maybe it's just a new endeavor. Taking on this new journey where you can refresh yourself and invigorate yourself again. So when you are in balance of your camel, which is where we are all striving to get for this month of July, Scorpio, when you're in this balance, you have that sparkle. You have that glint in your eye. And you feel sort of more calm and content and able to take on whatever the universe throws at you. For some, it's saying go the distance. See this through. Things are going to work out and you are extremely resilient. And for those that have this engagement stroke love, you go, girls and boys. And theys, you go. Have a great July. See you in August. Welcome Aries, welcome to the astrology section of July spell check. So I'm going through every astrology group and I'm just picking one tarot and one island wellness and then an animal card. I did that in the collective reading, but I'm now doing these as more specifics and I'm picking just one of each and having a bit of a chat about what July will mean for you. So I'm going to just cut the deck. And I'm going to just take this card here. Okay, so here we go. Page of Cups. An understanding of love, or perhaps the need for. An understanding of your hopes, your dreams, your desires, and also opening your eyes to potentially what could be coming your way. For some of you Arians in January, for some of you Arians in July even, you are potentially going to get an offer from somebody in the sign of Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Perhaps they will be younger than you in age, or just have this feeling that they have something to teach you or something to bring to the table. If this isn't actual love, this could be somebody very close to you. It could be a daughter, a son, a child, a good friend, or somebody just saying to you, do you know what? I'm here. I've got your back. I'm here for you this month. I'm going to support you. Let's just go out into the turbulent water together and work it out. And hopefully try and get you to a better place. A much nicer place where you can feel more balanced, because you've been out of balance, Aries. Okay, so island wellness for June. I keep saying every other month than this month. So for July, the golden mirror. Self-absorbed narcissism, one-sided relationship, love bombing. Be careful this month of being taken in by people as well that perhaps don't have your best interests at heart. But this could also be a little bit of yourself. Maybe you're going to be a little bit self-absorbed. I did say that things had been a bit tricky recently, and this golden mirror is really asking you to take a good look at yourself. The choices you make, the way you think, and just generally, I'm going to stop there because you can hear my washing machine going crazy. I did not know that was going to be on this cycle. So I'm going to actually just stop and pause, and we're going to come back to this. 1 second, Aries. Now that's better, isn't it? Aren't you glad we don't have the sound effects now? My apologies, Aries. Let's crack on. So I was just talking about this, holding up this mirror, wasn't I? To yourself, to gain a better perspective, I guess. You know, are there some things that we are doing where we're just focusing way too much on ourselves, what we look like, what we say, what we do, how we think, and perhaps it's time to just let go of those thought processes a little. And yeah, give ourselves a bit of a break. You know, give ourselves a bit of leeway. Stop looking at ourselves in that mirror and attacking who we are and what we're about. Because we can all do that, right? We can all judge what we look like, how we feel. And then it can just put us on this massive downer at the start of every day. And it's just saying, try not to do that in this month of July. Let's try and like change our mindset and not be so self-absorbed. Be careful. For some, this could be this partner comes in really fast, is very charming, tells us what we want to hear, and maybe does this whole love bombing thing. This love bombing thing of, you know, when you meet somebody and they're really, really into it and they're texting and ringing, and, you know, there's part of us that kind of thinks, oh, that's really nice, you know, they like me, or they, you know, they're into this, and then all of a sudden it just stops and then they disappear. Be careful that there's not this love bombing that's going to go on this month for you, Aries. Okay, so I'm going to pull an animal spirit for you too. We had the Black Panther in the main collective reading. So that was this feeling that we're all going to have a little bit of maybe defensiveness around us. Okay, so you have the horse. Okay, can you see that horse? Beautiful, beautiful creature. The horse is a very strong character. Like you, Aries, you're very strong too, as we know. I'm going to read from the book about the horse, and then we're going to have a little bit of a chat about it. So this is the earth sign, basically. So this could be some specific individual under the earth sign. So it could be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And this could be another important person coming in the month of July, or having some big impact on us. Or you could just be enveloping this energy, earth energy, within yourself. And it's about building momentum. And it's like wanting freedom and this expansive energy force around you. The horse represents the most masterful form of earth energy within the deck. It provides us with momentum, so reliable, so supportive, that you can ride on its back towards any goal, no matter how difficult the terrain. A horse's personality is fully awakened, fully alive, and cannot be defeated. The horse's freedom becomes available to us when we have and collect our energy through daily practice. Physical stamina, something like exercise. Mental focus, this could be like meditation for those of you that meditate, or for others it could just be that you have a hobby or something that helps you unwind. But these are like secret weapons for you at the moment, and they're part of this horse's legacy, which is really trying to give you this message that it's okay to kind of gallop through life with this really strong, powerful energy. And you do have this powerful energy, like I spoke of earlier. And sometimes that's a good thing, and sometimes it can work against you. And it means that when you feel things, you really feel them on such a deep level. And it's felt, probably talked about meditation, I said earlier, or a way of unwinding, because like when this horse is out of balance, they want to rush in and out of things really quickly. They feel weak. So maybe there is some need for you to get some exercise, you know, get some fresh air, take yourself out of this daily routine, or try to do something that takes you out of the daily routine for this month. Is going to be really good for you. Because when you're in balance, you're achieving anything and you don't give up. You know, you rarely give up on things, Aries. You're quite strong-minded like that. So in this month, they really want you to focus on your willpower. Be strong, believe in yourself, harness that side of the horse, rather than this wild horse that just cannot tame its own emotions. And if you can do that, I think July is going to take you into a very different August. We'll see you next in August for the reading where hopefully you've managed to tame your wild horse. Have an amazing month, Aries. Hi Leo, welcome to the second part of the spell check where I include the astrology. I'm going to be pulling 3 cards for you. So the tarot deck, a wellness island, and then an animal spirit card for the month of July. So Leo, let's pull your tarot first of all, and I've just been literally cutting, and whatever I've cut the deck on is your card. Okay, a bit alarming on first inspection. 10 of Swords. This is this idea of feeling slightly betrayed about something. And yeah, this kind of fits a little bit with the collective as well. Do you feel like something has been a lot? Something has weighed heavily on you and has made you sort of question other people's intentions around you, or really sort of being sensitive to how people are treating you or speaking to you. Are people close to you acting in a way that just feels like they're not thoughtful, they're not caring, they're not kind of having any sort of mind to your feelings about stuff that's going on around you? You know, if this is at work, do you feel like people just are not listening to what you're telling them, or are not noticing that you're in a place of, you know, difficulty? You have been feeling a bit low, a bit jaded, a bit, dare I say it, bitter about some things, you know, that have played out in a certain way that have made you feel disheartened in some way. I feel like there's been this sense of lack, and perhaps because your energy has been in this mode, it feels like you've attracted other scenarios that have been challenging, been really challenging for you, Leo. And it kind of calls for you to shake it off, if I'm honest. It kind of calls for you to switch this around. This 10 of Swords in reverse, these knives start to fall out because, you know, whether that be that we care less or, you know, we think actually maybe I've been being a little bit sensitive myself, a bit prickly. Aries had a very similar message. There could be lots of things going on. Okay, next this card, we have the card Talking. And like I said, this is an air sign. So these swords could be Aries, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra in their astrology. And maybe this is people around you, close to you, that fall into that category. Or maybe you've just taken on the air sign, which is, you know, overthinking, feeling that things are kind of like really getting heavy for you. And yeah, it's really a struggle to how I deal with it. How, you know, if this is a person, how do I pacify this person? Or how do I bring harmony back into place? You know, you could be thinking it doesn't matter what I do, it just doesn't seem right, I just don't seem to be able to make things right. So we have this card of Talking. Interesting, conversing more. Awaited message arrives. A text, a call, an email. Okay, perhaps in the month of July there's going to be more conversations that you've needed to have, and that would really sit very well with this 10 of Swords, because for some you're fearing having a conversation with somebody, but the cards are just saying don't put it off, have that conversation, or send that text or send that email and just make a start. And if this is rebuilding something, try and put out, you know, vibes of harmony and building on relationships to make them stronger, to make them more transparent. And in July, there could be the coming together of groups, you know, and people that can help you sort of like relinquish these swords. So perhaps by talking to close friends and loved ones this month, it's going to sort of unburden you, make you feel a bit lighter. I think it's important that you feel a bit lighter at this time, but I think this talking is like, that's the way to go. The way forward is to talk through some of these problems or some of these issues with people you love, people you trust. And if this is, you know, if you say, well, actually, this is a confrontation that I'm having with somebody I work with, or somebody, you know, used to be a friend or a partner or whatever, they don't want you to sort of see it as a negative, but rather see it as, okay, either let go of it completely or go and have a conversation to try and deal with it. But either way, don't just sit dwelling on it, which is what this card is. She's just sat, you know, kind of talking about and documenting every sharp point of every sword that hits her. You know, there's no getting up, there's no sorting out. She's just sort of led there in quite a passive mode. So maybe they're saying you have been passive, but for the month of July, it's time to do something, to take some action, Leo. Okay, let's pull you an animal spirit card. Oh, beautiful card. This is the actual cover of the deck as well. So you have this dragon. This dragon's all-seeing eye. This feels like your message is, it's time to open your eyes. It's time to deal with whatever this is for you. But it's something really important. There's something you cannot avoid in July. Oh God, that sounds ominous, but it doesn't have to be, right? Okay, so this is about seeing one's most true self, balancing the ego. The dragon sees everything. Its essence has been with us since before our first breath and will be there until our last. It watches us navigate the external world as well as in our inner world. When dragon energy is awakened, we are courageous, visionary, and can easily drop into witness consciousness. It is almost as if we are traveling with a great friend inside of ourselves. When we look in the mirror, deep into our eyes, we may even glimpse the self behind the self. The one who is watching us. This is the power of the dragon. Breathing transformative fire into every cell of our bodies, witnessing this omnipotent energy, even for a brief moment, helps us surrender and let go. We let the dragon guide us. We hop on its back for a ride, and as we travel, even the most difficult terrain becomes lighter. The dragon's eyes see beauty everywhere. It is said that if a yogi does not see beauty in the world, their light is dim. The light is described as the inner fire or sacred intelligence. It may even just be the mention of the dragon that stirs the embers of our intelligence. Okay, so rather than become a fire-breathing dragon to someone right now, the card is kind of asking us to harness this positive energy of this very wise dragon. You know, this is like this crone, this old energy that, you know, through time has seen so many things and is aware of so many things. Okay, so it's about coming into balance with this and not reacting to things so quickly. I asked that you bring action into place for the month of July, my lovely Leos. But before action, go to this place within, this place of wisdom, and really look at what has happened. Look at it with fresh eyes and try and just kind of do it from this sort of subjective place. Am I overreacting? Or is this person being, you know, pretty unreasonable? The dragon is kind of there to say, go to your higher self, go within. Say and do what feels right for you in July, my lovely Leos. Have a great month. Hi Sagittarius, welcome to July's kind of second part of the spell check, but this is the astrology based part. So I'm going to be pulling 3 cards for you today, Sag, and that's going to be one of my tarot, one of these oracle wellness cards, and an animal spirit for this month of July. So what I've been doing with the other signs is just completely cutting it like this. And then whatever's on the cut is your card. So you have the Devil card. Don't be frightened. This could be your inner devil. This could be your inner blockages that we need to just look at, trying to cleanse and release and let go of some stuff for this month of July. So this is actually the card of Capricorn, even though this is for you, Sagittarius. So maybe this is a Capricorn in your life that maybe you have been a bit concerned about or worried about, or it's kind of causing you some dilemmas in life that you're really kind of got yourself questioning some stuff. It really speaks to me, like I said earlier, about, you know, working through blockages. What is it that you've been working through that you know, maybe you have, and this could be the card that this month you've really been successful. You've been doing detoxing, cleansing, making good decisions, having the right inner dialogue, and you're sort of getting to a point where you're seeing some sort of fruition in this, or you're seeing kind of like you come out on the other side. The good work is paying off. No matter what stage of the journey you're at, they want me to say, for this month. So maybe you've just made some realizations about your diet, about the way you live your life, if you're getting enough sleep, you know, the sort of relationships you're attracting. It could be different for all of you, but it's like, Sag, you're just having these realizations in this month, and that's a really positive thing, because, you know, when we get these light bulb moments where we think, oh, you know what, this is perhaps what I need to change. This is the area of which I need to do something a bit different. And the message is to you that you can do it. You can change those things, however hard that seems, you know. So then you have this card, wedding rings. So for some, perhaps you've been doing some really great work within your relationship, and perhaps the bonds are becoming stronger. And, you know, if you're already married, this could be you having the right conversations, identifying, you know, previous toxic behavior, and you really trying to change things. This could be for yourself or your partner, or somebody, like I say, very close to you that you're aware has been attracting these situations into their life, and they're starting to make healthy choices and healthy changes. So it says union, wedding, married, soul connection, eternal love, everlasting promise. Maybe some of you are going to be proposed to in the month of July, or you're maybe getting married this month. And yeah, this, you know, it's often the devil. This is Adam and Eve in the card, and they're kind of bonded to each other. And we look at that as a term of bondage, not necessarily the colourful kind, but maybe. But this idea of being in a soul contract or attached to somebody in some way could be a theme for you in July. If you do feel in some sort of bondage that is unhealthy for you, Sag, then the cards are asking you to detach. Detach from what is unhealthy, no matter what that is for you. You know, we could all listen to that reading and think, right, what do I think is going on in my life at the moment that is unhealthy or doesn't serve me? And the cards want you to take a good look at some area, or at yourself maybe, and start ringing in the changes. For some of you, you've been on this journey for a while and you've been doing all this stuff, and it's, you know, the devil card's letting you know that you're really making headway. You're clearing something this month. Okay. So you have this spirit card, a raccoon. And yes, the raccoon definitely clears rooms. Not always for the right reason. But yeah. Right, let me find my raccoon card. Okay. So this is an earth sign, the raccoon. So this could be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. And where are you, my little raccoon? Okay, so this is talking about, again, a kind of interpretation of what I've been talking about. This talks about your talent, the raccoon. And this is this idea of, I said clearing the room, but not for the right reasons. But this sometimes is when somebody is talented, but is hiding their talent and kind of lets everybody else sit in the spotlight. It says the raccoon energy is at play within all artists to greater or lesser degrees. At best, it indicates talent, tenacity, and skillfulness with a particular musical instrument or creative tool. Its shadow side points to an unresolved issue around self-image and success. Sometimes using a stage name or wearing a mask works in an artist's favour. Other times it limits creativity. Am I who my audience thinks I am? What if I am ready to grow into something more? Raccoon energy won't let us off the hook until this creative ego and fear is resolved. What have you been scared of, Sagittarius? This devil card. This is around all these ideas of this bondage, toxicity, habits, patterns, behaviors that you've identified for some reason. And it's time to take the mask off. It's time to stop hiding behind whatever it is and facing the fear, if you will. So when the raccoon is out of balance, it is over competitive, and it's like an artist that's starving. So it's like somebody that's just not fulfilled. So perhaps if you're out of balance and you identify this raccoon, then maybe you can resonate with that energy. To bring into balance, it's talking about creating and generating new ideas, new pursuits, new work, new friendships, new relationships. Or maybe, we talked about this wedding card. If this is a relationship, maybe it's breathing new life into something and highlighting the good things about it instead of only seeing the bad, maybe. So when in balance, this raccoon is a generous friend, an exceptional artist, a talented individual, somebody that radiates and somebody that shines. So it feels like for some of you, perhaps you've been scared to shine, but maybe now is the time. The time is coming for you to not hide behind anything anymore. Lay the devil out on the table. Look at the attachments. Are they healthy for July? If they are, amazing. Then, your talents, your creativity, your beauty, your radiance is set to shine. For those that are identifying perhaps something that's dulling that shine, it's time to reveal some truths, I feel, Sagittarius, for this month. And you know what? What better a sign to do that? You are pretty good at telling things from a very truthful yet caring perspective. You have a really great way with words, Sag. So I wish you well in July, and come into the spotlight is your message.